The old man Silas knew a thing or two about the cold. On winter nights like this, when the wind clawed at the seams of his cabin, the cold was more than a temperature. It was a presence. A void that leached the warmth from the bones and the will from the soul. He'd been out in it for an hour, chopping wood, his breath pluming in the ghost light of a star-dusted sky. His hands were numb, his feet blocks of ice. Now, inside, he knelt before the iron stove. He struck a match, the sound of a tiny explosion in the silence. He fed the flame with kindling, then with the wood he had just split. For a long time, there was only the crackle of the fire, a desperate localized rebellion against the immense cold of the night. He didn't move away. He stayed on his knees, his stiff, cold hands held out to the growing heat. And then it happened. Not a thought, but a wave of sensation so profound it felt like a truth being revealed. It wasn't the heat alone, nor the memory of the cold. It was the transition between them. The painful, exquisite moment where the cold, in its very surrender, gave definition to the warmth. The feeling that flooded him was more than comfort. It was a deep, somatic meaning. It was the universe in its vast, indifferent cold being answered by a small, defiant point of heat. And in that answer, something new was born. Gratitude, peace, a sense of rightness. He looked from the flames to the single, bright star visible through the frosted window. That star, he knew, was a furnace in an airless, silent vacuum. A place where his fire could not breathe, and his life would freeze in an instant. A meaningless cosmos. Yet, here he was, a living testament to the meaning that arises, not from the void itself, but from the clash with it. His shivering body had been the thesis, the indifferent cold, the antithesis, and this radiant feeling of well-being was the synthesis. This essay is the story of that synthesis. It's the journey from the silent star-dusted sky to the warmth of the heart, and the discovery that the most profound meanings of our lives, love, purpose, peace, even our very sense of self, are not found in avoiding life's winters, but are forged in the very act of building a fire against the dark. We'll explore how this ancient alchemical process is embedded in everything, from the taste of a simple meal to the resolution of a symphony, and how, by understanding the sacred clash of opposites, we can stop searching for a meaning handed down by the cosmos, and instead become the makers of our own. Let's return to Silas in his cabin. The cold outside is absolute. It is a fact of the universe on a winter night. When he comes inside, his hands are numb, his body shivering. This isn't a philosophical idea, it's a physical reality. He lights the fire. The heat begins to spread. Slowly, feeling returns to his hands, not as a simple neutral warmth, but as a piercing, almost painful sensation that slowly melts into profound relief. This feeling of coziness, of well-being, is not just the presence of heat. It is a special, positive sensation, defined by its contrast to the cold he just endured. The cold isn't forgotten, it's essential. It is the reason the warmth feels so good. The simple physical experience serves as a perfect metaphor for the origin of all human meaning. Just as Silas's body is a point of feeling trapped between the cold night and the warm fire, human consciousness is a point of awareness, trapped between two equal vast and opposing realities. On one side, our built-in compulsive need to ask questions. Why are we here? What is the point? Does my life matter? We are, by our very nature, engines that generate why. On the other side, the sheer silent universe, the cosmos of spinning galaxies and dying stars, operate on blind physical laws. It doesn't answer our why. It doesn't care about our point. It simply is. Its response to our most desperate question is a profound, unwavering silence. This is the first log on the fire of meaning. It's not a happy feeling or a simple answer. It is the raw, fundamental fuel of human existence, the confrontation itself, the clash between the questioning creature and the silent cosmos. This confrontation has a name in philosophy, the absurd, as Albert Camus famously called it. It's the brutal friction that happens when a meaning-seeking being is placed in a meaning-indifferent universe. Many people see this silence, this indifference, as a reason for despair. They're like a person standing in the cold, angry at the sky for being cold. But Silas shows us the way forward. He doesn't rage against the cold. He uses its existence as the very reason to build a fire. The universe's silence isn't a wall. It is the raw material. It is the cold that makes the fire of our own created meaning necessary, valuable, and beautiful. The first step, then, is to acknowledge this clash, not as a failure of the universe, but as the starting condition for our own purposeful action. We must stop shouting questions at the silent sky, and instead learn from Silas. Take the raw timber of this silent, indifferent world, and use it to build a fire that answers the cold with our own warmth. So we find ourselves with Silas, having placed that first log, the acknowledgement of the silent, cold cosmos, onto the flames. A confrontation has been accepted. Now, a question arises. What do we do with this? How does this simple fact of being cold lead to the profound experience of warmth? The answer lies not in the cold, nor in the heat alone, but in the mysterious space between them. This is the space where meaning is not just found, but forged. Watch Silas again. He doesn't just stand near the fire. He immerses himself in the transition. He holds his numb hands out to the flames, enduring the painful prickling as feeling returns. The final, deeply satisfying warmth he feels is a direct result of this process. It is a new state that could not exist without both the prior cold and the present heat. This process has a pattern, one that repeats everywhere we look. JWF, Hegel, the philosopher, gave this pattern a name, the dialectic. Thesis, a starting point. Antithesis, its opposite. Synthesis, a new, better state that emerges from their clash. The synthesis isn't just a mix, it's a resolution. It's the solution to the problem posed by the clash. The cold created the problem of discomfort. The heat provided the solution. The resulting coziness is the synthesis, a higher level state of comfort that understands and incorporates the memory of the struggle. This, truly, is the engine of growth. In life, as by the fireside, a challenge meets a new skill or perspective, and the result is a wiser, stronger you. This new you then faces the next challenge, and the cycle continues, spiraling you toward greater complexity and depth. This pattern is so fundamental that our bodies and minds are wired for it. We see it in the most basic, profound pleasures. The exquisite relief of a hot bath is created by the memory of the cold. The satisfaction of a cool drink exists only because of prior thirst. The sweetness of dessert is defined by the savory meal that precedes it. The joy of a reunion is built upon the experience of absence. The profound peace of silence is forged in the crucible of cacophony. The clarity of a solution is defined by the confusion that preceded it. Pleasure, in these cases, is the feeling of a tension being resolved. It is the moment of synthesis. Our nervous system is a living, breathing machine for turning the friction of opposites into the light of understanding and feeling. This brings us to the powerful symbol, the Mandorla. In old religious paintings, holy figures are often shown inside an almond-shaped frame, where two circles overlap. This shape represents the sacred space where two opposing worlds, heaven and earth, divine and human, meet and create something new. The figure in the Mandorla is not torn in half. They are transcendent, embodying both realities at once to become something greater. This is the ultimate symbol of synthesis. We are called to become the Mandorla. And this means we aren't meant to choose between our own opposites, between joy and sorrow, strength and weakness, courage and fear. The goal is not to erase the negative half, but to build a sacred space within ourselves, where these opposites can meet, by holding the tension between our strength and our fragility, without breaking. We don't become fragile or just strong, we become resilient, we become whole. So, what does this mean for you? It means reframing your struggles. Your period of chaos is not a failure. It is the cold, the order you will eventually build will be a warmth that is deeper and more valuable because of the chaos you endured. It means cultivating contrast. Don't seek a flat, easy life. After a day of mental chaos, thesis. Go for a run to impose physical order, antithesis. The resulting calm, synthesis, will be a meaning you have created. It means integrating, not erasing. Your fears and flaws aren't enemies to be destroyed. They are the antithesis that gives your courage and strengths their true definition and power. Invite them into your Mandorla. Make them part of your wholeness. The universe provided Silas with the cold and the wood, but the fire, the meaning, was his to make. We are all in that cabin. The silence of the cosmos is our cold. Our experiences, our actions, and our willingness to hold life's tensions are the wood. The flame is the meaning we kindle, a small, defiant, and beautiful warmth that exists because we choose to build it. We leave Silas as dawn breaks, the fierce cold of the night now held at bay. The fire in his stove has burned low, but the warmth remains, a testament to the simple, profound truth he has embodied. His story is our story. We all stand in the same cabin, between the infinite cold of a silent cosmos and the finite, flickering warmth of our own consciousness. We named the raw material of our condition the absurd. We learned the architecture of the flame, the dialectic. And we discovered the vessel for that alchemy, the Mandorla. So, what's the final instruction? It's not a secret doctrine. It's a call to action, a way of being. Stop looking for the fire, pick up the wood. Stop waiting for the cosmos to whisper your purpose. Its silence is its only message. and it is a gift of terrifying freedom. Your meaning won't be found in the stars, but in the steadfast courage you show in the face of the cold. It will be forged in the small daily acts of integration, in choosing gratitude after grief, and finding clarity within confusion, in extending kindness in a world that often seems indifferent. The meaning of your life is not a noun, it is a verb. It is the ongoing act of building and tending your own fire. With the timber provided by your existence, every piece of wood, every success, every failure, every moment of love, every heartbreak is fuel. The warmth you create will be yours alone, a unique and temporary constellation of light and heat in the vast dark. And though we build our fires alone, their light spills out. It warms others who gather near. It illuminates the shared, silent space between us. In this way, our individual, created meanings become the collective heart of humanity. A fragile, beautiful, and defiant answer to the void. Tend your fire. It is the only answer there is, and it is enough.